Do, 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 do. Think I'm live. All right. Colin, if you could send a text as well. Boy, have the numbers been something. Have the numbers been something this week? I don't know if YouTube's decided to pull the lever again or if it's just, no, end of summer, less people online watching stuff. Who knows? But boy, like nobody's seeing our videos. What can you do? Um, So, hope everybody's having an okay day. Please share this live stream. Please press the like button right under you. Send it a text message so we can get to more people. Uh, I just went to the allergist and got an allergy test for a lot of things. Because if you don't know, I have been coughing my lungs out for the last probably 2 months. Not COVID, fortunately, but I've been told I have asthma, which came from having COVID last year. Uh, but my vocal cords are very raspy, and I've been coughing a lot and talking a lot and doing live streams. My voice gets strained more. So the doctor I went to, the pulmonologist who diagnosed me with asthma, wanted me to get an allergy test to see is there something I'm allergic to that could be triggering this asthma. So if I sound a little raspy, that's why. So initially, what they tested me for today, I wasn't allergic to, including dogs. So good thing I'm not allergic to dogs since I have one. But smash that like button, share this live stream, get it out to more people. I'll wait for a couple more people to come in before we get going. This will be a shorter live stream because, as always, it is a on Wednesdays we do Rokfin, um, Rokfin Premium. So at 4:30, 4:30, we'll be live on Rokfin. I'll tell you in a minute. So hold on. So on Rockfit at 4:30, and again, if you don't know, oh, double K already, 19.99 in the super chat. Thank you very much. Wednesdays we do it exclusive on Rockfin, so we're live just on Rockfin on Wednesdays. We do post quite a lot of the exclusive from Rockfin on the YouTube the next day. So you'll definitely be able to see some of this tomorrow. We're going to have Lee Camp on in a little bit. There's a lot of people I would love to talk to about Afghanistan. The media is only focusing on, let's just call it what it is. Terrible sights at the airport. People desperately trying to get out, but they don't seem to want to focus on kind of how this was all a swindle, how this was all one giant boondoggle for trillions of dollars to basically go to defense contractors, basically go to steal very rare minerals from Afghanistan. So I thought, I'm not an expert on this. I'd love to talk to Lee Camp about it. So we'll have Lee on the Rockfin show at 4:30. Also going to have a couple workers from Starbucks in Buffalo. There's a lot of people on the left who have been fighting over the last 6 months, and it's this circular firing squad. They might want to start covering the fact that, I don't know, for the last decade, there have been no strikes, none, no worker strikes, no real worker union organizing. And all of a sudden, there's strikes popping up all over the country and real union organizing drives for the first time in over a decade. So I've covered this. I've covered the drives with Amazon in New York, but Starbucks, the Buffalo Starbucks, is trying to unionize. And if they're successful, that could spread like wildfire across the country with Starbucks. So we're going to have some of those workers on this afternoon. right after Lee. So really exciting show on Rokfin. If you don't know, we've probably done five or six Rokfin streams since we started. Basically, how it works is with Rokfin, we get a guaranteed amount per month just for being exclusive with them. But if we get over 100 premium subscribers, our guarantee with Rokfin goes up. I am excited to tell you we are about to hit 100 premium subscribers with Rokfin. We're very close. So, some Status Coup members have said, well, Jordan, we're already a Status Coup member, so we're a little upset that, something's behind the paywall. Totally get it. The unfortunate thing is we kind of have to start preparing for a potential day where we are not here. Not by choice, but if YouTube starts, pulling that lever even more and starting to straight kick people off, we can't have all our apples in the YouTube bucket. That would be very poor decision making. So we've been trying to branch off. We have a Substack now where we're gaining members there. That's another revenue stream. We're on Rokfin once a week. So what we're trying to do is on Rokfin, we're trying to, do exclusive stuff with Rokfin that you'll still get to see some of it the next day. And for more breaking news kind of things, not putting it behind the paywall. So, folks were a little concerned, I think a week or two ago, that we were at a press conference for Amazon workers trying to unionize in Staten Island, and that was only on Rokfin. We listened to you and realized, you know what? Yeah, we do need some things to incentivize people to sign up for our Rokfin, but we also don't want to alienate members. So we're going to try and, have for Rokfin specifically, topics that we could not talk about here on YouTube. Hint, hint. Last week we did about 2 hours on JFK and Operation Northwoods. So you could go, if you're a premium member, you could go watch that whole live stream on Rokfin. Again, today we're doing Lee Camp as well as the workers from Buffalo. And Jen and I plan on doing more, let's say, historical reports, looking back at things that, oh God, if you talk about it on YouTube, you are probably going to get tossed to the exits. So we really hope, if it's within your ability, you could sign up for Rokfin, $9.99 a month to get access to our premium Rokfin channel and also other premium Rokfin channels. Lee is on there with a premium channel. Graham Elwood, some others are on there with a premium Rokfin channel. Obviously, it's not everyone can do it. $10 a month might be out of people's budget. If you can, not only do you actually get to see content from us that you won't see here, but you also support us so we can get more revenue. Because honestly, as we've been emailing out this week, we're doing a fundraising drive this week. It's expensive. I mean, some people say, stop begging for money. Well, if you want to, give us access to your money tree in your backyard that is not corporate plutocrat funded, we'll stop asking people for money. But until that day, we have to fund in the field journalism. I've been we've sent out a few emails this week outlining what all our expenses have been lately. So please, if you can, only if you can, sign up, rokfin.com/statuscoup, and I'll be live with Lee basically in 20 minutes. But I also, and thank you, Double K, $20, Cam Schwar, Kate, $5. The JFK Rokfin video is amazing. Thank you. And that, by the way, that live stream we did, we just decided to do that week, that day. So wait till we actually do some preparation for other topics such as JFK, other topics that have been suppressed from, basically been suppressed by the corporate media for the last 30 years. If we actually prepare for it and do more research, it's going to be damn good. Double K again, $19.99. Appreciate it. So I wanted to also give you an update on that fundraiser. On Monday, I sent out an email. I rarely personally will write like a long email, like asking directly for financial support. As a company, we'll send out emails like when we're out somewhere in the field reporting, trying to, fundraise to at least break even for whatever reporting trip that is. But I personally do not like having to send out emails, asking you for money. But I did it on Monday because we've had a lot of costs, some that were totally unexpected and some that are expected, but all at once. If you got the email, this isn't the first time you're hearing it. Jen had to stay back in Flint during our last reporting trip when Colin and I left. She had to stay back for an extra 5 days because she had a very bad flare up of her long haul COVID symptoms. She didn't know if she had COVID. And by the way, if you want to sign up for Rokfin, the link is right there. The link is right there. So for us to get the subscription, meaning for it to count towards our premium member number, you have to sign up through us. So rockfin.com/status coup. But Jen had to stay back in Flint for an extra 5 days because she was very, very sick. She had to quarantine until she got her COVID test back. Fortunately, it was negative. But those costs total, 5 more nights of a hotel, food being delivered. She couldn't get out of bed. Medicine cost us around $800 extra. I mean, it is what it is. Obviously, if it were me and I threw out my back, if I had to stay, so be it. So it is what it is. Obviously, she had to get better, but that was an extra cost. We actually, we're trying different things. So when we broke our Major Flint story, just in the past few weeks, we did a press release to try and make sure it got to every single national and local media outlet in the country, as well as politicians and things like that. That cost $2,500. When is today's exclusive Rokfin? 20 minutes, 4:30 Eastern. We're starting our Rokfin exclusive. That cost $2,500 for that press release. We tried because in the past we unfortunately have not been able to get media to pick it up because for all the reasons we've already talked about. But we tried it. It was expensive. We're not quite done with that. There are still some things we could do with the service we're using for that press release. So stay tuned for that. But that was very expensive. We also are about to launch our brand new website, which we've been working on for, not us, but the people we've hired to do it have been working on for a while. We hope to launch it next week. That's $5,000. And if you want to succeed as an independent outlet, you need to have a website, not only that looks good, but that actually has some functionality to bring in more eyeballs. So that costs a lot, but the new website's going to look amazing. So just several costs, some unexpected, some not. Just the most recent trip to Flint, Cleveland, and Akron for Nina Turner's election, and then Flint to further cover the bombshell Flint cover-up story we broke. That was $4,000. We have upcoming costs for our accountant and bookkeeper. So we set on Monday, probably too low, said, let's try to raise $6,000 this week. It certainly wouldn't totally meet the expenses we've had, but at least, a reasonable number. We didn't want to put it too high where we're asking for too much while people are still struggling. And you guys just blew that out of the fucking water. Colin, if you could show what we're at right now. We put out $6,000 on Monday. And right now, it might be more since I've gone live. We've raised nearly $7,000 from GoFundMe contributors, people who donated to our PayPal, people that donated to our Cash App. Let me give some shout outs on the GoFundMe. I'm not going to read PayPal or Cash App because that's private. I don't know who donated. I don't know who donated to PayPal, like who, if they want it public. So I'm just not going to read any of them. But on GoFundMe, John recently, $10. Anonymous, $25. David Freed, $1,000 3 hours ago. Let me repeat. David Freed or Fried, $1,000. I don't even know what to say for those donors and supporters. There's been a couple of you over our 3 years that have really come through with $1,000. In one case, I think we got a $3,000 GoFundMe donation. Listen, even if you're a wealthy person, and I don't know if David is, that, $1,000, pretty damn a lot of money. And it is super, super helpful for us towards going to those expenses. So I can't thank you enough. I mean, we appreciate every single amount, whether it's $5 or $1,000, but obviously, those bigger ones really put a dent in our expenses. So David, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. We will work we will keep working so that you, get what you want from us. Anonymous, $100. Alicia, $5. Dane, $27. Donna, $25. Anonymous, $26. Margaret, $20. Brienne, $5. Michael, $10. Anonymous, $20. Anonymous, $200. I think I read the rest of those yesterday. So we're almost at $7,000 now. And I got to be honest with you. Psychologically, obviously, when you put out a goal and you reach it, people kind of get like, oh, great, work is done, right? And there's not that urgency to donate. Listen, we don't want to get greedy here. So if you can't donate anything more, that's okay. But honestly, I talked to Jen this morning. I was like, shit, I think we put the number too low. Because obviously, I mean, I just went down. It's in the email too that I sent out. The unexpected and expected costs that we've had recently far go past $6,000, which is the goal we put out. So I'm going to say, why stop now? It's only Wednesday. We wanted to push it for this week particularly. So if you can continue supporting us, it's not just going to go towards us hopefully breaking even with those expenses, but it's basically fall already. It's the winding down of summer. You got plenty of things we want to cover on the road. I still want to cover Line 3 and the continued protest there in Minneapolis. We got workers' strikes basically popping up now. Alabama, Kansas, South Dakota, Nabisco, all over the country. You got organizing efforts in New York at Amazon, in Buffalo. I'm going to speak with the Starbucks workers organizing a union in Buffalo during the Rokfin show today. Hopefully there will be more worker strikes that pop up. We'd like to go cover them. We want to go cover progressive candidates. It's about to be September. We know that the midterm elections are far away next year, but the actual election cycle for progressives who are running to take out corporate Dems basically begins soon. So we want to cover that. I mean, there's so many things we want to cover. We're obviously going to continue our investigative reporting. So we are going to, wherever that takes us. So we're hoping we could keep building, more financial support from you this week, so we could keep putting money in the bank towards that reporting. So I really, really appreciate everybody who has supported. It's amazing that we've already blown past the goal by Wednesday. We could have lied to you. We could have pretended that we haven't, so you would have donated more. But I wanted to be honest. We have passed that $6,000. But I'm hoping the sky's the limits. Why not 7,000? Why not 8,000? Why not 10,000? If we could do it, if you can't, you can't. And I don't want anyone to think we're trying to, put them out here. But if you can, definitely support us. GoFundMe.com/status coup. You could also support us through our PayPal. That's PayPal, I think, .me/status coup. And our Cash App, I think, is just $status coup. So keep it coming on those platforms if you can. We very, very much appreciate it. The super chats are welcome too. And hold on. Oh, we just got, I don't know. Oh, we just got a new Rokfin subscriber. Woohoo! So we got it all, baby. We're getting the support in GoFundMe, PayPal, Cash App, a new Rokfin premium subscriber. And think about Rokfin. And again, if you're coming to this late, we're about to go on Rokfin for our weekly exclusive there. So if you're not a Rokfin subscriber, you won't be able to watch this live stream today. We will cut out certain parts of the live stream and put it up on YouTube tomorrow. But the good thing about Rokfin, I had a ball. I really had a ball with Jen last week. And by the way, Jen's not on. She's trying to take some time off. She's been public. Jen's going through it. Jen is really, really going through it. She's been sick started in November. So we're talking almost a year now. As you all know, there's a really thin line between physical illness and mental illness. I had COVID for 3 weeks. I was feeling depressed. Can you imagine having these terrible symptoms she has had for 10 months? She missed holidays with her kids that she had to quarantine from. She, at times could barely get out of bed. She has continued to push herself to travel and report despite feeling nauseous, dizzy, severely heated. It's hot during the summer for everybody, but her symptoms, the heat affects her even more. So people were like, "Oh, you didn't cover the whole Medicare for all March. That was 7 hours." Yeah, she could barely stand up, so she did 2 hours. I mean, the list goes on. I don't want to speak for Jen, but she's really sick. And with long hauler, it's such a doctors don't have all the answers. And she's been, I mean, she has publicly said this, but she, had an appointment with John Hopkins in Baltimore, I think, which is one of the best hospitals in the country. But they're so packed with long hauler patients that she couldn't get another appointment until November. And I think her first appointment was in like April or May. So, yeah, it's just she's really struggling right now. Obviously, mentally, it takes a toll. It really takes a toll. Uh, you know, for me, I get really kind of itchy if I don't travel for a while and I'm just stuck. I feel disconnected from what's actually going on in the country. So just double that if you're fighting excruciating physical symptoms to keep doing your job. So I say all this. She's not on, but she's still been working. She has helped us with the fundraising this week. And she's just, she needs some time off. So obviously, but I guess that long-winded tangent I just said, I had a lot of fun with Jen last week on Rokfin. The shit we talked about on Rokfin, I think we would have been kicked off YouTube probably in 7 minutes if they were paying attention. If they were not paying attention, maybe 20 minutes. But if they were paying attention, probably 7 minutes, we would have been gone. JFK and other things. We want to focus in on other historical stories that they say it's a conspiracy theories, but evidence doesn't cite conspiracy for the things we want to talk about. We want to do a whole lot of things that, frankly, we can't do here that we can do on Rokfin. So both it gives us the editorial freedom. I mean, listen, we're not like crazy censoring ourselves here, but the reality is there are certain things we know that if we cover it, we're either going to get demonetized or kicked off. So we choose, to do it on Rokfin. But the other thing is for a small startup media company, we're 3 years old. So it's not like we're 10 years old that has never taken a dime of corporate money, that still does not take corporate money. It is hard to afford the travel. I think people have seen us do it so much that they kind of take it for granted and don't realize we're scrapping for every single trip. We're literally scrapping to fund all of this. We recently brought Colin on, who's, by the way, if you haven't noticed, the production quality of these live streams have gotten better. That's Colin behind the scenes, basically operating everything. So I don't have to, thank God. But Colin's doing a whole lot of other things behind the scenes. So we brought him on a more permanent basis. So that costs money. Obviously, freelancers like Tina. So please, if you can, rokfin.com/status quo. Become a Rokfin premium member, $9.99 a month. If you can't, that's totally okay. We have seen some people say, "Oh, Jordan, should we get rid of our status quo membership and become a Rokfin premium member?" No. Status quo membership is our main model. We're right now at 1,890 status quo members. We definitely are going to continue pushing to that 2,000. It's been this number that we've been so close to, and then we lost members because of COVID and people losing their jobs. We definitely want to just pass that 2,000 finally and onward to grow. So status quo membership's our main model. If you're a member, stay a member. If you're a member and can afford the Rokfin premium, even better. I know a lot of people have done that, but if you can't, you can't, and that's okay too. So we'll be over in Rokfin in 8 or so minutes. So I'm excited for that. Real quick. I wanted to address something, and I'll probably get shit for this, but I don't really care. So, Colin, if you could pull up the tweet I sent you, the tweet that I actually wrote today, because it got oh boy, it's really interesting to me. No, not that one. Did I send you the wrong one, Colin? God damn it. Hold on, Colin. Let me get you the right one. What will be. Hold on. All right. Colin, put that up if you can. So I've noticed a trend. In oh, there you go. So I tweeted, AOC had tweeted that their position remains unchanged, that her and the squad will not vote for the bipartisan infrastructure deal, which is really just a privatization scheme. Most of it's, diverting infrastructure jobs to private companies, but saying we're not budging. We're not going to vote for the bipartisan infrastructure bill if we don't get the 3.5 trillion reconciliation. The Rokfin site doesn't come up for me, exclamation point. It should. Colin, check the URL that you put in there. It should be rokfin.com/status coup. So I wrote, it's really interesting. It's become a cottage industry for progressives online to rightfully criticize the squad for not leveraging their votes. Keyword, rightfully criticize their votes. But when they actually do, crickets. To believe it when I see it, folks, they're currently doing it. Boy, I got news for you. Human psychology is a very interesting thing. It is amazing to me how even the slightest, tiniest, most tepid challenge to, frankly, the growingly nihilistic left, oh my God, they freaked the fuck out. I've never seen anything like it. Jordan, stop punching down. That's the top one. If you ever dare, people could throw grenades all day long for months. Sellouts, frauds, cowards. But if you had all challenged their thinking, stop punching down. And by the way, we're not punching down. I've said over and over, people have a right to be mad. People have a right to be cynical. People have a right to be hopeless. I'm not telling you not to. My tweet was also not encouraging you to please go to 1-800-Flowers.com and send AOC a bouquet. But the reality is the reality. People have been demanding and shaming them, rightfully so, for not voting as a bloc and not saying, no, we're not voting for this if we don't get this. That's what the criticism has been. In January, it was they're not doing it to get a floor vote on Medicare for all. I supported it. I still support it. I don't support the way people went about it, which I think self-sabotaged it, but I supported the actual strategy and goal. But I don't understand. People are like, I'll see it when I believe it. What does that mean? See it when I believe it. They're doing it as we speak. See what? People were saying, I'll see it, when the Senate passes it. They don't control the Senate. They're in the House. So they are saying they will not vote for it in the House, which if they don't vote for it, it does not pass in the House. Therefore, it doesn't go to the Senate. People saying, a dollar a day late, a dollar short. Somebody said, well, this doesn't change our trust issues with them. Folks, this is not politicians. It doesn't matter whether you trust them or not. They're not your wife or husband. They're not your family or friends. This is a, let's just say a transactional relationship, us and politicians. You don't need to like them. You don't need to love them. I don't give a shit if you dem enter, dem exit, whatever. Do what you want. This isn't about trust. This is about shame them and pressure them when they're not doing what you want them to do. But then we need to have some intellectual consistency. How about a little intellectual honesty? When they start doing what you've criticized them for not doing, oh, it's not good enough. Oh, a dollar, a day late, dollar short. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's all predetermined. Oh, this, oh, that. Anna, if you're not cynical, you're not familiar with DC. I am cynical. There's a difference between cynical and a nihilist. By the way, as I tweeted, still plenty of time for them to cave. Still plenty of time for them to cave. But at the moment, they're pretty much lockstep. 7 or 8 of them in the squad saying, we're a no vote if we don't get this 3.5 trillion reconciliation, which, by the way, these same people who are demanding that they do something, but then when they actually are doing it, they're silent, are the same people pretending that a 3.5 trillion spending package, the biggest spending package in modern political history, which is going to give us universal pre-K, free community college, expanding Medicare, legalizing path to legalizing undocumented immigrants. There was a few other things, but not like minor incremental things that we've been pushing for. Is it Medicare for all? No. Is it a Green New Deal? No. Guess what? Progressives don't have the White House right now. Progressives don't have majorities in Congress. They can't snap their fingers and make those things happen as much as we'd like them to. So I just wanted to point out, you know what? Nobody's saying slobber all over them. Nobody's saying send them flowers. But how about a little intellectual consistency? Okay? If we're pissed at them and we're still talking about it 8 months later that they didn't force the vote, they didn't, quote, leverage their votes, leverage their power, vote as a block. Well, they're publicly for weeks now saying they're doing it. So we're just going to shit on them when they're doing what you've demanded they do. Now, if they cave, that's a whole different story. But this whole crystal ball, let's be cynical that they're going to cave. I don't really know how that helps anyone. And by the way, as Cori Bush just showed you, sitting on the sidelines and just waiting to see how it plays out isn't good either. Cori Bush just slept on the Capitol steps for 5 days. Don't listen to people who say it was a photo op. Without her, millions of people would have been evicted. Now, weeks ago, would have been on the streets, still during a raging pandemic. But if it was just her on those steps, it wouldn't have happened. There would be no eviction moratorium extension. If there wasn't a digital rallying cry behind her, it wouldn't have happened. If there wasn't progressive groups organizing around her, it wouldn't have happened. So this idea that we'll just watch the politicians and see if they cave, no. Pressure and shame them when they don't do what you want. Primary them even if they're not going to do what you want. But if they are playing hardball, rally around them. Doesn't mean you like them. It doesn't mean you trust them. It doesn't mean anything. But this zero-sum nihilism is going to get us on a slow march to nowhere. With that said, I got to move over to Rokfin. About to go on Rokfin, rokfin.com/status quo. Joining me will be Lee Camp. And then after Lee Camp, we're going to have workers at Starbucks in Buffalo who are trying to unionize. Rokfin.com/status quo. Tomorrow on here, I will have Professor Richard Wolff, which I'm excited about. Oh, great idea. COVID surging, but Biden's about to cut unemployment expansion, the unemployment benefit expansion in 12 days. So that's a good idea. All right. See you, folks. Join me at rokfin.com/status quo in just a minute.